Simone, obviously not the result you guys are looking for as a team. I'll start with you personally, though. Getting going offensively, scoring 20 points tonight, I believe that was a season high. How do you sort of take the benefits of this game on a personal level and continue to compound on them?
I mean, it's always good to have a good game, once in a while, of course. And just to give you a little bit of confidence, of course, I would trade with a win, of course, because we kind of needed that. We lost now 3 games in a row, and we needed this one, especially at home. But we look forward to the next one. It's a very important game for us, and definitely getting forward to go back in the gym on Monday and work for the game for Tuesday against Orlando.
You mentioned it yourself. That's 3 straight losses for you guys for the first time this season. So, what do you think the biggest contributing factor has been to that slide?
I think, well, we definitely could have been better on all 3 games on defense. Probably also like other teams around the NBA are scouting us a little bit more on the offensive end, and it's turning a little bit hard for us to find our rhythm, find our pace, find our flow, and just got to get back to that. It's as I said, we're looking forward to go back on Monday in the gym and work on that, and I'm sure we're gonna be better on Tuesday.
This Tuesday game, a rematch with the Magic who just played last night. Played them a few times already this season. So the intensity of a knockout round, how much are you looking forward to that? And what will it take for you guys to be able to rebound and get that W?
It's going to be great. It's going to be like a playoff game, absolutely. So we're definitely excited. We know what's at stage, and we're definitely packing for Vegas too. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Thank you, Simone. Jaime, obviously, things got off to a sluggish start for you guys and seemed to continue throughout the game. What do you think was the biggest factor toward, this type of performance tonight?
I think we just weren't playing our game. Our pace wasn't there. Defensively, we weren't initiating. We weren't making our presence felt. And that was lingering all the way throughout the fourth quarter. I mean, obviously they got the lead. We tried to, crawl our way back, but we just didn't bring it today.
Obviously, second night of a back-to-back. How much does that sort of contribute to this one, as you now have back-to-back games here where that pace really wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, no excuses. We didn't show up. We knew we needed to get this win. We didn't have it today.
You personally had a performance on the offensive end and seemed to really keep the energy going with that group toward the end of the game. What did you see from that group as you started to make a little bit of a run there to get back that you liked?
Yeah, just trying to be persistent, just keep vocalizing that we want to have pride. We don't want to, go out sorry. No matter what the score is, we want to play hard. We want to play to win. Whether we're up 20, down 20, we want to play the same way. So that's kind of what I was echoing to the team.
And then finally, you guys now go back to Orlando on Tuesday, another matchup with this team. It feels like you played them quite a bit, but should feel sort of like a playoff atmosphere for you, knockout. So how do you guys bounce back and get a W in that one?
We just rest tomorrow, practice on, and just learn from this game, learn from the Orlando game, and try to get back in the win column.
Thanks, Jaime.
Thank you.
Norm, we know that NBA teams go through blips during the course of a season. When you get into one of these things where you've lost 4 of 5, cause for concern, cause to sort of sit back and hit Monday's practice hard? Sort of where's the concern meter right now for you guys?
I don't think we're too concerned right now. If you look at the 4 and 5 and go back and see how we lost those games and where we're at, we could easily be 5 and 4 and 1. Just got to get back to who we are, back to our identity, offensively, defensively, especially this game. No excuse coming back off of back-to-back. Just tightening up the little things and how we want to play, the flow and the play style that we want to get back to and that we've been having throughout the course of the year so far. I think that's the biggest thing. We're going to tighten some things up, take tomorrow off, let our bodies rest and recover, come back Monday, watch some film, see how we can get better, and then get ready for Orlando again.
Norm, the pace has really kind of slowed the last week or so. How much of that is a reason for these recent struggles, and what have teams done maybe to slow you guys down?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's really what the league is doing when we start playing these teams. I think we've played the top five, top six defenses in the last couple games. You got Dallas, Orlando, and I think they've did a good job of denying our first actions and things like that, taking away, especially when I'm not playing with Tyler. They're really keen on us. So it's making other guys have to make plays. But I think there's been keying in on denying our reversals and things like that. And now we got to get to making second and third movements, from the denials, back cutting, sacrificing ourselves to open up driving lanes and things like that for the guys that have the ball. But, I mean, we knew this was going to happen. We kind of surprised everybody with the pace. And now they're ready for it. So it's on us to, play a little smarter, knowing that they're going to be denying and making it tough from our first actions. It's going to be second and third bar reversals to beat their defenses.
Norm, just because he's been such an engine for everything you want to do in terms of your identity, but also doing it without turning the ball over, what were you missing without Davion tonight?
Just his energy and his effort. Coach calls him a reckless guy. He's the one that's really flying around every possession. Surprising guys with the ball, double teaming them, playing passing lanes. Being that extra defender in the help. But he just misses his energy and his physicality on defense. Really getting into the ball, making it tough for guys. We kind of. Follow off of that, and we're looking at who's going to be that guy tonight. I think we had small moments of it, but nothing that was able to be sustained over a full 48-minute game. So we know how important D. Mitch is to what we do offensively and defensively.
You mentioned teams denying that first action, but is there anything you noticed they're doing with maybe take away the three ball? I know you guys didn't get up as many attempts as you wanted to last night, and just stuff off the catch. Is there anything, I guess, an adjustment you're noticing from defenses?
Honestly, I think we're passing up a lot of shots, that we weren't really passing up earlier. I don't know if it's a little bit of overthinking or, trying to overwork the offense. Sometimes, the best shot is the first open one. I think, sometimes we get caught up in, we don't want to take this one, so now we're redriving a drive instead of if a drive happens, we kick it out and it's another swing pass. I think we're missing those moments right now, and I think we're going to clean that up Monday, once we watch the film and see how we can get better offensively and take what the defense is giving us and make the plays that are in front of us.
Bam, with these 4 losses in the last 5 games, where does the concern meter stand, and what do you see as the common thread that has led to this little bit of a dip?
We gotta get stops. That's the biggest thing on the radar. We gotta get stops, and then also we just gotta move the ball. I feel like that's been the biggest concern, like just moving the ball. And playing more in closeouts and in transition.
Bam, the pace has really slowed the last week or so. How much of that has to do with the struggles you guys are going through right now, and what have teams done maybe to slow things down a little bit for you guys?
This is the most I've seen team go zone against us. And then obviously when they make a shot, they're trying to press up so we can't run in transition. So those two things, but we have one of the best coaches in the league. We'll find a counter at some point. We'll find a counter and get back to having this fast pace and playing with this type of energy.
Bam, just because he's been in the lineup all season, what did it feel like with the offense in terms of playing to your identity without Davion tonight?
Slightly reckless. He has such a incredible energy sometimes. It's some of those like certain buckets that you need out of nowhere, and he just finds a way to get one. But also on the defensive end, we all know what Davion brings to that side of the ball. So And then, like I said, he's the head of the snake when it comes to pushing our pace in transition.
With this kind of new style of offense, was it always sort of maybe an expectation that teams would try to adjust to it, and this stretch would kind of happen? And how important is Monday going to be, especially in trying to look for that counter?
I mean, people start start scouting us and figuring out ways they can shut our water off in transition because we play so fast. But for us, it's really, like I said, moving that ball, limiting our turnovers, and getting shots on goal.
Coup, lead us off.
I'll take it. Just kind of talking about, can you talk about the offensive and defensive activity level on both sides? Because obviously led by Levine, who just kept making it, and it seemed like they really carried the stride throughout it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a lot of juice, on either end of the floor. And when Levine got going on his first 2 threes, and then he hit that third one on a pick and roll pull up, you could tell that he was in a great flow, and we weren't doing a whole lot to disrupt him from that. I would say it was equally, some of our inefficiency offensively that led to, some of our inactivity defensively. It was not one of our finer games, but we'll regroup. I want our guys to get as much rest as possible. We have a practice day, which is good. I think we do need to get back in the gym and just fine-tune some things and get ready for Tuesday.
I know you always have enough, but just because there was a looseness to the offense tonight, even when you were playing at speed, what were you missing in terms of Davion's kind of quarterbacking, what you're trying to do?
Yeah, just some of the, decision making. I don't like to talk about his assist turnover ratio too much because I don't want him thinking about that. You're going to make some miscues. I trust him with the ball. I trust his decision. He's our engine. He gets the ball where it needs to go. He helps with our pace. He just has a good feel. He understands what we're trying to do because he's an IQ player. But that's not an excuse. This could have been a different kind of game. It would have had to be that kind of game. We didn't have a lot of juice tonight, so it probably would have been similar to the Orlando game. You find a way to gut it out at the end, and that's probably my biggest takeaway right now is, can we win some games where it's not at our identity? We'll work on it. Monday we're going to work on getting more consistent to how we want to play. But this is the NBA. It's not always going to go exactly how you want it to go. The competition has something to say about it. But the mental toughness that great teams figure out is you figure out a way to win. You figure out what the feel for a game is, and it might have to be an ugly win, and we'll get there on that as well.
Thought process in starting Jaime over Khalil at the start of the second half?
Just looking for some juice, looking for something to kickstart, just some energy. Didn't really work out that way, but I don't know necessarily what would have. It wasn't an indictment on Khalil.
Seems like the last few games pace has slowed down a little bit. How much of that is not playing what you want to play, and maybe some of it opponents kind of adjusting?
I think it's both, for sure. If you develop an identity after 20 games, the league scouts you, so they'll put together a game plan. But if you're doing something well, then you have to put more effort, more intention, more detail in doing it, and that's what the really good teams figure out. You don't let teams take you out of what you need to do. That's why the practice day will be important.
Obviously, it would be more if it's in a win, but for someone like Simone, how good is it for you to see it, for he to see the ball go through the hoop and maybe get him off that sort of rough patch that he's been? How helpful can this be?
I think it's probably feels good for him. For us, we know the value that he brings. One way or another, he gives you the gravity, but all the other details, we've been really encouraged by the team defense that he provides. He's very detailed. He's intentional. He wants to do the right thing defensively. He also has a toughness about him. He handles his own under the basket, rebounding against bigger players. He sticks his nose in there. So the shooting, you have to be able to weather those kind of storms in a long NBA season for shooters. So, I always, like to tell those kind of guys, can you miss 10 straight and shoot your 11th as if you made 10 in a row? He has that kind of mentality, so he'll be just fine.